And so tonight we begin a new month, a new theme. The theme is called Dream Big. And the topic for tonight is your personal timeline. So here we are in a new year, at the beginning of a new journey straight ahead of us. We're looking at a blank page, a blank canvas, if you will. And we, in our little hands, have an imaginary paintbrush with which to paint your own personal perception of your new year. You have the ability to create the vision of what that's going to look like. And so in breathing and meditation practices, we typically bring our awareness to the present moment. We focus on that all the time, right? But tonight we're going to be engaging in looking back. We're going to be using the witness mind or the observing mind to reflect back on our life and our life stories. We all have a unique story. When we reflect on our own personal timeline, we use this as a tool for recognizing our strengths and resilience, as well as our shortcomings. We spent some time last month looking over 2020, looking over that most unusual and difficult year. And, it was different for everybody, but it kind of landed in our laps and we weren't warned. It was just there, right? We had to learn how to use all the tools in our toolbox to deal with it. And so last month, we focused on that year and we focused on how our strengths and resilience manifested themselves during that time of challenges. So now we're going to look back at the actual timeline of our life from our very beginnings to where we are now. And we can observe our stories without judgment and then reframe our stories so that we can witness how creative we have been at surviving our greatest challenges, often seeing that we are doing better on this journey than we even thought. When we look back, then we realize that what looking forward might look like. And we can then plan and invite the concept in of dreaming big. What is dreaming big? Well, it's going to be different for everybody. It's maybe accepting new challenges in this new year. It's maybe trying new things. It's maybe embracing change. Change doesn't have to be negative. If you put a positive spin on change, that's a good place to start. It's imagining the impossible, and nothing is impossible. It's relying on our past experiences to shape our dreams for the future. So dream big. I know you're going to explore that a little more in your support group coming up, but such a wonderful thing to think about at the beginning of the year ahead, dreaming big. And so now let's breathe. I'd like you to get really comfortable in your chair there. And so bringing your feet to the floor in front of you, maybe bringing a pillow behind you so that you're sitting up nice and straight in your chair. And allowing your eyes to close or to come into a soft gaze in front of you. And I want you to really feel your feet on the floor. Feel into your feet. Notice the solidity of the ground beneath your feet. And feel where your feet are in contact with the floor beneath you. Good. Bring your awareness to your thighs and to your seat and where your body meets your chair. Notice where there is contact with your chair and just allow the ground and the chair to support your body without you needing to do anything. Good. Now move your attention to your back body and where your back touches the chair. Can you feel the difference between where there is contact and where there is none? Now move your attention to your hands, feeling into your hands, and allow them to rest fully on your thighs with your palms facing down or your palms lifted facing up, your choice. Now take a moment to open your awareness and to feel your entire body sitting here in this moment on this chair. Take another moment to roll your shoulders up to your ears and then let them softly settle back down, noticing any areas of tension that you might be holding there. Let yourself soften and let any tension go. Good. Now begin to bring your awareness to your breath. Notice the temperature of the air around your nostrils as you breathe in and you breathe out. Just let the breath come and go, in and out, in and out. Now begin to make your breath just a little bit deeper so you can really feel the breath. Ask yourself, where do I feel my breath the most? Where are the sensations of the breath most pleasant? Is it at the nose where the air comes in? Or at the back of the throat as the breath passes over? Is it in the chest or maybe at the belly? Notice where you feel a sensation of expansion as you breathe in and a sensation of contraction as you breathe out. Where do you feel your breath the most? Remember, you're engaging your witnessing, observing mind. So let that thought settle in. Where do you feel your breath the most? And use that as an anchor for your attention. Notice the pace of your breath, the natural rhythm that is uniquely yours. And notice any random thoughts as they come and go. Just notice them without judgment. And whenever the mind wanders off, come back to the breath. Just witness and observe the breath at its very basic nature. And as you connect with the breath, ground, breathe, settle, and soothe. Let the breath soothe your soul. Let the breath just be itself. No need to make it any other way than what it is. And as you breathe in this natural way, I will read our affirmations for tonight's practice. When I look back, I realize how successful I have been in figuring out my most challenging times. I am doing a better job than I think. I appreciate myself for all the ways I've exercised my strength and resilience. Continue to fill yourself with a few more mindful, nourishing breaths, breathing in and breathing out, breathing in and breathing out, and feeling that expansion as you breathe in, contraction as you exhale. Let the breath be your anchor, not just tonight, but at all times, knowing that you can engage your senses to regulate and control it. And now, as that feels complete, allow your eyes to softly open and notice how you're feeling as you come back to the present moment. Ground, breathe, settle, and soothe. Great. I hope you're feeling a little more relaxed. And what we're going to do next is a little bit of movement. We're going to be moving the spine in 6 different directions. These are the 6 directions of the spine. And it's good to move your spine in these 6 directions a little bit every day. Why? For your overall wellness, it creates flexibility. It engages your spine so that you're lubricating all your vertebrae. And when you do that, things stay nice and juicy as opposed to stiff and not flexible. So, incorporating a little bit of spinal movement every day is a great thing. I had a yoga teacher that once told me that you are only as young as your spine is flexible. I think I may have mentioned that in previous sessions, but I try to remember her words. Every time I'm feeling a little bit stiff, then I know it's time to move the spine. So we're going to do this in 3 different ways. We're going to do it seated, standing, and then on our hands and knees in a table position. We're going to start with seated. And just to let you know, and I know you know this, but I feel the need to just remind you that if there's anything that we do that doesn't feel comfortable in your body, just back off, maybe make your movement smaller, or even, just not do it at all. Honor your body always. That's true in yoga and it's true in everyday life. So honor your body. So we're going to be starting by just sitting, seated position in your chair. I'm going to move back just a little bit. And the 6 directions of the spine are flexion, extension, moving side to side, so lateral movements right and left, and then torsion, which is twisting right and left. So we're going to begin with a very familiar movement to warm up the spine, which is cat-cow. So sitting nice and tall in your chair, making sure your feet are on the ground, hands placed in your lap. We're going to begin our extension and flexion. So extension, we look up, raise our gaze, lift our heart, arch the back, and come into our cow pose. Inhaling here as we do. And then flexion, rounding the spine, tucking the chin toward the chest, and coming into our cat pose. Good. Again, extension, lift the heart, lift the gaze, feel that spine articulating. Great. Exhaling, flexion here, rounding the spine and chin to chest. And I invite you to do some of these at your own pace. I know that you know how to go about this, so I'm going to let you choose your own rhythm, but really warm up the spine, feeling the articulation of each vertebra as you go. Juicy, juicy, as opposed to stiff. Good. Excellent. Cat-cow. Flexion, extension. Good. And then let's just meet in a neutral position on your chair, gazing forward. And I invite you to take your left hand and place it on the seat next to you. Raise your right arm overhead, and we're going to bend to the left. So lifting and then bending to the left as you go. Lateral moves here, side to side. And then inhaling back to center, place the right hand on the seat beside you. Left arm comes up, and you're going to lift and hinge to the right. Lateral movement, side bends. And then inhale, bring that left hand back to your seat. And again, I'm going to invite you to try this on your own. Side bends, opening up the side body, moving that spine, getting any tension that you might have had from your long day, and just erasing it. These are our 6 directions that you can do anytime, anywhere, all day, every day. Good. Side to side. And then meet me back in the center. And then we're going to try some twisting. So sitting up nice and straight and tall. Take that right hand and place it on your left knee. And then take the left arm or left hand and sweep it behind you. And then twist your body. Lift out of your waist and then twist to the left. You can place your left hand on the back of the chair and then just take your gaze over that left shoulder. So you're exhibiting some torsion here, some twisting, and breathe into that stretch. Good, good, good. And then inhale back to center. Let's take that left hand, place it on your right knee. Right hand goes behind you on your chair and lift out of your waist, twisting to the right. And breathe. Good. And then inhale back to center. Let's try that a couple times on our own, remembering to lift before you twist and then twist to the left. So inhale, and then when you twist, you're exhaling to each side. Inhaling back through center at your own pace. And just observe as you go what it feels like in your body when your spine twists this way. Good. And then just meet me back in the middle. I'm going to move my chair so that I can stand up, and we're going to do the next 6 directions of the spine in a standing posture. So standing up nice and straight and tall. Good. Round those shoulders up to your ears. Let them settle back down so that your spine is lengthened. Shoulders are back. And then we're going to raise our arms overhead and come into a chair pose here. So sink the weight back into your heels, chair pose. And with your hands on your thighs, move those hands down towards your knees, arch your back, lift your gaze, lift your heart, coming into an extension cow pose here in chair pose. And breathe into that stretch. Good. And then exhale around the spine, tuck the chin to your chest, coming into cat pose. And then just take a few of these extensions and flexions on your own. Again, feeling the articulation of every vertebra as you go. Good. And when that feels complete, just come to standing one more time. Take a moment to just close your eyes and observe. And notice the difference. How did that feel standing as compared to when you did it sitting? When you stand, did it perhaps open up more areas in your body, maybe allow for a little expansion? Or did you prefer it sitting? So this is just getting the observing and witnessing mind to cue in here, and just kind of trusting that observing mind to give you those answers or those cues, okay? Good, now we're gonna try some just bending to the side. So just taking your right arm up overhead, lifting out of your spine, inhaling here, and then exhale, just bending to the left. Bending from the waist, feeling that opening in the right side body. Good. And then inhaling back to center, lift the left arm up overhead, inhaling, and then exhaling, bending to the right. Good. And then inhale back to center. Go ahead and take some of these lateral side bends at your own pace and to the rhythm of your own breath. Good. Breath with movement, movement with breath. Very good. And then meet me in neutral. I'm gonna focus my laptop here so that you can see me on the floor. We're gonna come into hands and knees. So come to your hands and knees, keeping a nice straight spine, and bring your hands so that they're under your shoulders and your knees are under your hips. So you're nice and aligned here. Good. And then on the in-breath, lift your heart, lift the gaze, lift your gaze, arch your back, and feel that spine moving. And then exhale, chin toward chest, around the spine. And then once again, inhaling in, extension, cow pose, and exhaling, cat pose. Little flexion here. Take some of these at your own pace, and then use that awareness, how this feels in your body. How does it feel doing it in table position as opposed to seated or standing? And just get to know what your body cues are telling you. Good, and then meet me in neutral once again in tabletop position. Stack yourself back up so you're nice and aligned. Take an in-breath here, raising your right arm up overhead, breathing into that stretch. And then exhale, returning your hand to your mat or to the floor. Inhale, raise that left arm up, opening up the left side body. And then exhale, bringing that hand back, and do a few of these, just lateral movements here. Good. Back and forth, side to side, opening up that side body. Good. Good, and then just meet me back in table position one more time. Now from table, bring your left leg out beside you. So your left leg is out, your foot is turned out a little bit, toes pointing away. And from table, just take a look and peek out over your left shoulder. Good. And then breathe back through center, bringing that right leg out beside you. You should feel a nice inner thigh stretch here too. And then twisting your head to the right, just peeking out over that right shoulder, gazing at the right foot. Awesome. And now if you're up for it, let's come into a low squat. So a low squat here, hands together in prayer position. Good. And then let's take a little bit of a prayer twist. So left elbow to right knee while you're in a low squat here, and twist to the right. Breathing, noticing, observing any sensations. And then inhale back through center, taking that right elbow to left knee and twisting to the left, exhaling here and breathing. Good, and inhale back through center. Just take a couple of these little mini twists, mini prayer twists on your own to the rhythm of your own breath. Good. And then meet me back in table position. Good. And then pressing into the floor, coming up into downward facing dog, lifting your heels, lifting your pelvis, lifting your hips. And then walk your feet up to your hands, coming into a nice easy forward fold. And then bring your hands to your lower back, your sacrum, and slowly uncurl one vertebrae at a time until you come to standing. Good. You guys did an awesome job. And then raising arms up overhead and bringing hands to prayer. Yay. Okay, we got a good workout in our spine tonight. And now it is time to enjoy a guided meditation. So I invite you to find your comforts, perhaps find your music. And as always, your pillows, your blankets. If you're going to stretch out on the floor, find a real comfortable place on the floor. And gather anything that you need around you, and then just begin to settle in. Good. Now I invite you to close your eyes or soften the gaze and feel the connection of the earth beneath you. And just let go. Surrender, surrender, surrender to this moment. And connect with your breath once again, taking the time to really feel your breath in your body. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. So tonight I invite you to think back upon the journey of your life, your story, and the chapters that span the course of your lifetime. Think about those moments in life that helped define you without judgment. Let them come to you as they are. And begin to soften the muscles in your head, in your face, in your neck, and in your shoulders. So feel a softness in the forehead and in the cheeks, in the temples and the jaw. And just begin to let all remaining tension just drift away from these areas. As you begin to soften and expand, bring to mind your earliest memories. Let them come to you as they are. Recall the positive memories as well as the negative ones. Surrender, surrender, surrender to this moment. Just observe what comes up. Now move your awareness to your right shoulder, your right upper arm, elbow, forearm, wrist, hand, and fingers. Bring to mind any bumps, stops, or detours that occurred along the way, along your path, your roadway of life. Let them come to you as they are. And as you recall those bumps and those stops or detours, recall your resilience as you met those challenges head on. Now move your awareness to your right side, your right leg, and let that awareness settle in your hip, your thigh, knee, shin, ankle, feet, and toes. Bring to mind the events that have shaped your values and beliefs. Let them come to you as they are. Recall how these events brought you to be the person you are today. Surrender Surrender. Surrender to this moment. Just observe what comes up. Now move your awareness to your left shoulder, left upper arm, elbow, forearm, wrist, hand, and fingers. Bring to mind events that helped shape your decisions. Let them come to you just as they are. Surrender, surrender, surrender to this moment. Just observe what comes up. Now bring your awareness to your left leg, starting at your left hip, thigh, knee, shin, ankle, foot, and toes. Bring to mind the choice points and happenstance occurrences that have decorated your life, the things that just happened with no explanation. Perhaps they were surprises or delights or even disappointments. Surrender, surrender, surrender to this moment. Just observe what comes up. Now move your awareness and your energy to your heart space and just rest there in that space. And give yourself a big hug of self-compassion for your journey, for your story, for your strength, your resilience, your ability to handle more than what you give yourself credit for. And hug yourself for all you do for all those around you. In appreciation for your generous, caregiving heart. And rest. Surrender, surrender, surrender to this moment. Rest well. Rest well. Very, very gently and very slowly, begin to bring your awareness back, maybe starting to move in little ways, circling wrists or ankles, maybe giving yourself a nice full body stretch, or gathering your knees and hugging them into your chest. And I'd like you just to remain lying down while I read a meditation for our closing. It's a poem I found about your story, and I thought it was so appropriate for tonight's session. So just keep your eyes closed and just stay in that state of relaxation before you come back to the present moment. Meet me in the middle of your story when the soul is worn but wise. Go forth and do not hide your scars, your stretch marks, your laugh lines, your calloused hands. They are your life story, telling of struggles won and lost, challenges faced, losses overcome, life grown and birthed and nurtured, hard work accomplished, stars reached for, hopes dashed, dreams realized, rock bottoms, and mountain tops. They tell the story of your one amazing, beautiful life, written in the curves and lines of extraordinary, miraculous, beloved you. And as you start to continue to awaken, you may slowly bring yourself